Welcome back to Brentford Fan TV. I'm Ben.
I'm Freddie, and today we are looking at the links that Thomas Frank had to other clubs during the start of the transfer window. And so I think we start off with Chelsea, and I just want to say that I'm going to start with a quote from Thomas Frank in an interview he did with, I think it was Jay Harris. He said, "Grass may look greener next door, but it's actually full of weeds."
That's an interesting quote.
I think it sums it up well because Chelsea, they're like a big six team, they're a huge team, won the Champions League, won the Premier League multiple times. It's like, why wouldn't you go to Chelsea? But then again, Chelsea aren't in a great place right now.
Yeah, and their recent owners haven't treated managers very well.
Yeah.
Like sacking them and stuff when they're actually doing quite well.
Yeah.
Take Pochettino, for example.
Yeah, and I think Thomas Frank has created a great group at Brentford. All the staff are great. Everything just seems to be perfect. So why go to Chelsea where they need someone to calm everything down? It doesn't seem like a great environment for him to go to.
It doesn't. Also, Chelsea wouldn't suit Thomas Frank unless they were willing to change their approach.
Yeah, I think if Thomas Frank was to go to Chelsea, then they'd have to be willing to accept we're going to give him a chance at a season or two. Because when Thomas Frank first joined us, I think he lost like his first 7 games or something. It wasn't great, and so they would have to give him time, unlike they have with many managers.
Yeah. And now that Chelsea have signed a new manager in the previous Leicester manager, so the door's not open for Thomas Frank, which
yes,
I'm glad he'd be staying now.
Yeah, very glad he's staying. It looks like a former Pep assistant coach who was then the Leicester manager, now the Chelsea manager, has got the job. And so Thomas Frank, it does look like he's going to be safe. We're safe that he's going to be with us. And also, it was apparent that Chelsea did not like Thomas Frank's style of play, which is very odd because it's not actually that bad.
No, it's not. Another interest in Thomas Frank is from Manchester United.
Apparently, Manchester United staff and senior members met with Thomas Frank on the day of the FA Cup final and had talks with him. We're not entirely sure what the talks are about, just maybe the potential of him being their manager. But Thomas Frank has said in interviews that he is flattered to be linked with these big teams.
Yeah.
I found it very interesting that Mark Goldbridge tweeted recently saying, "The owners aren't stupid enough to get a manager who thrives on 30% possession and counter-attacks." I thought that was just bollocks. What do you think?
Yeah, because we played really well in the Championship. We've only really started playing this way since we got into the Premier League, where it's more important not to lose.
Yeah, and because, well, you're taking a Championship side to the Premier League, you can't every week be playing free-flowing football. You have to do what you have to do just to get points, and that is playing with less possession, getting counter-attacks, getting set pieces. And that's exactly what Ten Hag does anyway.
Yeah.
Man United literally play with less possession and on the counter-attack, and that's when they're at their best. So it's not even a downgrade from Ten Hag to Thomas Frank. It might not be what Man United fans want, but it's not a downgrade. We know that Thomas Frank is happy at Brentford. He said it, he's very happy. He knows that he's made a great group, and he says it's a perfect environment for a football club. But after these links to Man United and Chelsea and maybe a couple other clubs, it does seem that he's not going to be with us forever. And it does feel like Thomas Frank was going to be with us forever, but he does seem to be open to a move away.
But with all this, he is probably 100% likely to stay at Brentford at least this season, and I hope he stays longer because he's a really good manager and he's done very well for us.
And I think Thomas Frank should stay with us for like 10 years and get a statue outside the stadium. He's done a lot for us. If he can keep us in the Premier League for many more years, he deserves a statue. And there is the space outside the stadium for a statue, I'd say. So.
Yeah, I think he could even push for Europe with us. Maybe even get in like Europa League or Conference League.
Yeah, give him a stand. Name one of the stands the Thomas Frank stand. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. There shouldn't be any more Thomas Frank links this summer, so that is all from us.